Hello, my name's Maria Schmitz. Welcome today to another blog contribution of Alexandra. Today she looks at corporate books. Books are the best influencers. This video answers the questions why corporate books are much more than just corporate publications, and why many definitions used are too one-sided. It also looks at when a corporate book is the perfect medium and how it differs from other publishing products. What considerations are necessary to lay the foundations for a convincing corporate book? It further looks at why an unsuccessful book is more expensive than good advice. Which aspects should interact to ensure that a corporate book is well received, and what role the book title plays. How do corporate books become long sellers, and what makes them really successful books? Why a good book should never be expected to make its own way. What makes books unbeatable as instruments for forming opinions? Why originality creates exclusivity? Why books make a relevant contribution to sustainability and public discourse as real influencers. So stay tuned. Alexandra Hildebrandt ran this interview with book and publishing expert Michael Schickerling. The term corporate book is used as a matter of course in the communications and publishing industry and is often equated with any form of company book or chronicle. This definition does not go far enough, as it generally refers to books published at the request and in the interest of an entrepreneur or a company, regardless of subject, genre, author, financing, production, publisher, or distribution channel. The size of the company is also irrelevant, ranging from freelancers to self-publishers to global players. What all these initiators have in common is that corporate books are seen as an investment to achieve certain goals. Ultimately, the goal is to maintain control over the interpretation of one's company or self and not to lose it to outsiders. When is a book the perfect medium? One of the most important functions of books, indeed of any form of literature, is to provide a better alternative, broader view of the world. This is precisely why corporate books also thrive on their quality. They're particularly well suited to conveying complex and complicated issues, preserving history, securing outstanding results, and highlighting current developments. But even more than that, they can make values and positions visible to the public, encourage dialogue and debate, or offer stories and insights that resonate in the minds of readers. In short, there should be no difference in quality between corporate publications and traditional publishing products. After all, poorly produced books are always a bad calling card, and a long-lasting one at that. The main difference is therefore that the financing is provided by the client and the publisher is more likely to find itself in the role of a competent service provider. One of the most important functions of books, indeed of any form of literature, is to provide a better, alternative, broader view of the world. This is precisely why corporate books thrive on their quality. They're particularly good at communicating complex and complicated issues, preserving history, ensuring excellence and highlighting current developments. But more than that, they can make values and positions visible to the public, encourage dialogue and debate, and offer stories and insights that resonate with readers. In short, there should be no difference in quality between corporate publications and traditional publishing products. What considerations are necessary to lay the foundation for a convincing corporate book? First of all, you always need a credible, comprehensible reason and a clear idea of what a corporate book is supposed to achieve for the client and for the readers. The motives can be very different. It may be to tell the company's story and preserve memories, to demonstrate expertise and enhance its reputation, to influence public opinion and initiate change processes. And sometimes a book should simply be a source of pleasure. In my opinion, it's important to keep in mind the target audience who want to benefit from reading the book and certainly don't want to be bombarded with heavy-handed advertising messages. Based on these considerations, you need a clear and distinctive concept with content that is as unique as possible. Enriched with a dash of storytelling, a well-crafted corporate book not only hits the right notes, but also engages readers on an emotional level, making it more memorable, says Schickerling. Now on to why an unsuccessful book is more expensive than good advice. I think you know the answer. Even if some vendors suggest the opposite, producing a book is a demanding process. that constantly presents new challenges even for old hands in the publishing business. Wrong decisions and real mistakes can cost more than just money. What is even more serious is the potential damage to your image. Professional support guides you confidently through the entire book development process, past all the pitfalls and to a convincing result. What aspects should interact to ensure that a corporate book is well received, and what role does the book title play? The authors, he says, are always the immovable foundation. The personality, wealth of experience, content, and stories carry the entire book. At the same time, the laws of the book market and established standards regarding positioning, quality, production, and distribution must be taken into account. Ultimately, however, it is the readers, the media, and the public who decide on success. They have their own interests, expectations, and needs, and they want to see them met. The importance of a concise, persuasive, and effective title cannot be overestimated. After all, it is usually the first thing people notice about a book, and it is by far the best and most cost-effective advertising. Now onto the long seller. Corporate books should not be about becoming the next bestseller, but about reaching the target audience with the desired messages in the best possible way. If these messages are of fundamental interest, have a high degree of originality, and do not just attract quick attention, a book can last a long time. In the best case scenario, it will evolve from a short-lived bestseller to a consistently selling long seller. Schickerling's answer continues, I want to dispel the myth that calling yourself a best-selling author is some kind of honor. It is a purely quantitative, not a qualitative characteristic, like Germany's best-selling Matras. Who wants to be that? And being in the top 10 for exactly 1 hour and 32 minutes in the Amazon category books, science, biology, animals, pets, cats, house cats, grey house cats, is certainly not a remarkable achievement. So it's all about sender competence, authenticity, topic relevance, originality, and therefore quality. Why should a good book never be expected to make its own way? Every year, there are about 80,000 new publications in the entire German language book market. Hardly anyone is waiting for a new book, even if authors, companies, or publishers consider it highly relevant. That is why Schickerling is convinced that successful books are always the result of clear concepts, trustworthy teamwork, and skillful implementation. And it is essential to think about the time after publication, to take care of marketing and to invest even more in success, in good marketing and effective PR. What also makes books unbeatable as instruments for forming opinions is the fact that they do not live on platitudes and repetition, but on their originality, depth, and wealth of information. The very nature of the medium forces book authors to be credible and to gather convincing arguments and facts. This also makes corporate books unbeatable as an opinion-forming tool. At their best, they are used to set the agenda, to bring certain issues, beliefs, or concerns into the public debate, or to target specific stakeholders and opinion leaders. A corporate book is often the first time the public hears about a particular author, company, or issue. Why this originality creates exclusivity? That's easy to say. First, the original voice is heard, can bring its own point of view to the world, can address an issue, and thus set the direction as an influencer. This is much less true for the second voice, and the copy has to be much better to be noticed at all. Because if you copy, you lose, and if you're too late, you lose too. So answering the question when books make a relevant contribution to sustainability and public discourse as real influencers, Schickerling continues, a well-designed book is never a disposable product. At its best, it conveys a sense of merit, appreciation, and value. This is what sets it apart from online media or printed brochures, which have an inherent impermanence. Even years after its first publication, a corporate book will still find its place on the bookshelves of its target audience, may be quoted again and again, and thus have an equally lasting effect.